Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Fifi and Gigi's Tarot Readings. Cancer, thank you so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to do your tarot reading. Cancer, I always look forward to reading for you. Let's get straight to business. We're looking at the challenges and blocks with your person. Let's see what are the major energies. What's the heads up, the advice? Because remember, Cancer, whatever comes out here, you can change the course. This is the beauty of tarot. Nothing's always set in stone. You can always change the energies depending what comes out here. So let's have a look. I will be using the Halloween tarot. Very appropriate now that we are in October. We are approaching Halloween very soon. How exciting. So let's get started. Cancer, let's look at the blocks and challenges with your person. What can you do about it? What's the advice? What's the heads up? What we don't see coming, please. Anything at all. So let's connect with our intuition, our mind, our spirit, our body, everything. Okay, so the first thing that's coming, I'm getting is happiness as with a question mark. We're getting happiness. Is happiness on the line here? So behind the deck, what do we have? Interesting that we do have the Page of Pumpkins. Page of Pumpkins, also known as the Four of Pentacles here. Now, the Four of Pentacles here is when we're either afraid of losing something or afraid of rocking the boat. We're keeping everything close to our chest. There could be trust issues here where we're not trusting the situation. Now, interesting that we have the Four of Ghost too. The Four of Ghost is kind of like telling us, snap out of it. There's an opportunity for you to take action or for you to take a chance at something, even if it means voicing out your own truth, speaking your own truth. And we also have the Empress. Now, the Empress is also another major arcana. It's the biggest card when it comes to taking action. I feel like Cancer, do you hold yourself back in something regarding your person? Either because you're perhaps afraid of what could happen, what are the ramifications. The Empress is telling you, don't hold back anymore. Speak your truth. Don't lose sight of yourself. Take action, whatever actions that you feel that you need to take, but your mind is telling you not to do it. You can absolutely take action here. Because remember, the Empress is all the queens wrapped up in one. She is a leader, the cornucopia of creativity, of taking action, a leader. Just a big reminder that you are a leader, Cancer. You can take action. So excellent. All right, let's have a look at your cards. Mhm. Let's split the deck. What do we have? Split the deck. We have the Three of Swords. Now we know the Three of Swords. We've got the Queen of Bats. Interesting. And the Page of Bats. Wow. Now, if we see the Queen of Bats, now this is someone that's not afraid to, because you've got to remember, whenever we do see the Queen of Bats, this person's already holding up a sword. This person, especially the surrounding energy, doesn't care who they hurt. If we look at the Three of Bats, we're seeing heartbreak here, but no one experiences heartbreak isn't unscathed from it. Everybody goes through the Three of Swords, including this person here, the Queen of Bats. Even though they may show a very, very strong front, they're very stoic, they've been through hell and back, and they may pretend that they're not affected by the Three of Swords. That's absolutely bullshit. They're definitely affected. They definitely feel the effects of the Three of Swords. Even the Page of Bats. Page of Bats shows again delayed news, challenging news regarding the aspects of the heart, the emotions of the heart. So there is definitely heartbreak between you and your person. Cancer, the dominating card on top. We're seeing the Eight of Ghost. Someone has walked out. Could be you, Cancer. Could be your person. Someone has turned their back on this relationship. Seven of Ghosts. Yeah, choices and options. This could also mean someone's thinking about walking out. Someone's thinking about, is this situation really worth my time and energy? It could be you, Cancer. It could be your person. Let's look at your card. So let's first start with you, Cancer. What do we have? Okay, so we do have the Lovers. The Lovers, that's really big Gemini energy. Interesting that we saw the Queen of Swords. But when we see the Lovers, there is something that you connect really, really well with your person. You match and mirror each other. It feels like it's meant to be. It feels like when you're with your person, your heart beats 10 times more. It's almost like, I love this person so much. I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. And if we're seeing a lot of cards that are challenging, because we already saw here, especially with, when I split the deck, the Three of Swords, we've got to ask ourselves, is this actually love or is this a karmic love relationship where it's very volatile? There are more downs than ups. This is still a beautiful card with the Lovers here. It's showing that you do have a lot of love and compassion towards your person. Speaking about your person, let's see if they have the same energy. Are they reflecting the same energy here? What do we have? So we do have the Nine of Pumpkins. Don't get me wrong, the Nine of Pumpkins, it is a good card, but there's a little bit of contrast between your energy, Cancer, and their energy. Let me start with, first of all, look at the Nine of Pumpkins. This person is surrounded by luxury, surrounded by luxury. And sometimes they would much rather be on their own. Also, I feel like, having a relationship, yeah, it's a bonus. It's not everything, though. See here, even right here, we're just seeing an energy that your person really values their independence. They don't want to be held back. They want to be true. That it's like, I feel like if you try to hold this person back, it's probably the worst thing we can do here. They love the independence, love making their own money. That's the key word here, independence. And sometimes they may even rather be on their own than be with someone. So what is the block here? What's the block? What do we have? We have temperance upside down. So there's a lack of love and devotion. The question is, now I got to go back to you, Cancer. You've got the Lovers here. So I feel like you want love, you give love, but you also want some love back. And there is a lack of love and devotion here. There is a lack of patience too. There is a lack of like just really being patient with each other too. So I do question, does your person lose patience with you? Do they lose interest when it comes to romance? Because there's a lack of here. There's a lack of love. There's a lack of devotion, of being together with each other and creating something together. So this can be a problem. Yes, it can be a problem, Cancer. Well, what is it that we don't see coming here? What is it? What we don't see coming? Interesting. We've got the Ten of Pumpkins that's come out reversed also. Usually I don't read my cards reverse, but if they do come out reversed, I take it as a sign. Now, the Ten of Pumpkins upright, yeah, that's the card of stability, a beautiful foundation. When it's reversed, quite the opposite. There is a lack of security, a lack of trust, a lack of abundance here. There is a huge lack of building the ultimate dream life. So I almost feel like Cancer, you may just be a little bit shocked, a little bit surprised what your person may say and do. The next couple of, as the days unfold, as the weeks unfold, you may just be a little bit surprised by your person's actions, what they say. Their words may come across a little bit hurtful also. Why do I say words? Because of the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is definitely a type of person where, remember, she's holding a sword. She's like the type of person that would chop someone's head off and say, who was that again? Sorry, who was that again? Strike first and then ask questions. So, what's the advice? What advice? What's the advice? Mm. So we do have the five of bats. The thing is, Cancer, you got to remember something. You're not the problem here. Or else I would definitely call you out. I have no problem doing that. But the problem here I'm seeing with your person, they have this an attitude, or they do have this behavior that's not serving them. It's not serving them. They may even be impulsive. Like, do you ever find that your person sometimes reacts, or they're very impulsive if things do not go their way? What are we looking at here? And the imagery is so important to look at. We're seeing someone here that's taking all the candy. There's nothing left for the other person behind. And there is that energy, ha, I won. I've got the last word. So I would definitely, if I had to tell you, what's the advice? Really start to pay attention to your person's attitude. Really start to analyze them as a person. Ask yourself, they're actually on the wrong path. It's not serving them. The way they behave, the way they carry on, the way they do things. And I really do feel they make things really difficult for themselves. They do. When they can have it all with you, they can have it all. But they just create things and make things difficult. They sabotage something that's amazing. All already by seeing temperance and the 10 of pumpkins reversed. So they're actually on the wrong path. The way they carry themselves, the way they handle their attitude, their behavior, it's not serving them. We also finish with the 9 of bats. Now, Cancer, I don't like the fact that, we've got the 5 and also the 9 of bats. The 9 of bats it's telling you if we don't get our person to really get a hard look at themselves, it's going to get worse. Remember, the cards are giving you a heads up already. It's telling you that if the situation doesn't improve, it can get worse with the 9 of bats. Look at the 9 of bats. We have someone here in the middle of the night crying and surrounded by the negative energy of nightmares, stress, anxiety, depression. We have a cat that's consoling the person when it should be another person, another human that's consoling you, Cancer. So, with the heads up, it's telling you we need to address certain things, these blocks and these challenges with our person before it gets out of hand. And you remember, you can change this. The only thing is, because we do have the stubborn card, your person may be a little bit reluctant to hear you out or to give you, um, even give you, you know what, you're right, Cancer. I've been acting unfairly, I've been acting cruelly against you. Sometimes even with the 5 of bats, because notice that this person's wearing like a blindfold or like it's like a mask. It's like, huh, I don't, that's not true. It's like they're refusing to accept the reality of the situation. They're refusing to accept their own faults. They'd rather have the last word than accept their own faults. That can be a bit of a challenge here. So do not let this carry on to the 9 of bats, where we're now in a mental headspace where we are depressed, we have anxiety, we have stress. No, we have to address the situation even right now because, like I said, yeah, there is a bit of a contrast here with your energy, Cancer, versus your person's energy, a lack of trust, security, and abundance. I always feel like you need to question your person's intentions with you. What are their long term goals with you? Because the last thing you want is for your person to say, yeah, I want marriage, but I don't want marriage with you, as an example. That can be absolutely devastating. So it's good to talk about this right now. Talk about what are your person's, what do they want from you? Because remember, there is always a difference between how you feel about someone and how your person makes you feel. That there's always a contrast. You probably bring a lot of love and devotion, but your person may bring to you a lot of anxiety and stress. There's an imbalance right there that we need to talk about. but don't let it get this far with the Nine of Bats. Thank you so much, Cancer, for joining me. I wish you an absolutely beautiful week. Howard to you, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.